Turn the,
Which I
There are.
appreciate.
Microphone's
we're
on.
good, and you've got a quorum, sir.
Okay. Okay, it's about that time to begin the meeting.
Straight up and down.
The July 25th, 2023 Planning Commission meeting. I guess the first item on the agenda is application 2306Z, Minerva Spring Lake LP owner, parcel 239-0462, approximately 9.305 acres, located in land lot 183 of the 3rd Land District, requesting to rezone from AR1 agricultural and residential to R2 single-family residential low density.
Good evening.
Good evening.
In regards to application references 23-06Z, staff, along with the applicant, we are requesting that this application be tabled. And we're requesting it to be tabled because of the recent approval of ordinance that allows certain variances and special exceptions to go directly to the Planning Commission and Board of Commissioners, especially with those cases that are that involve rezones. So we want to do all of that in one package. And it's going to be for this particular application and the next item, where it will allow Minerva, the applicant, to present their requests fully to the Planning Commission and Board of Commissioners. And those two dates will be August 29th for the Planning Commission, and then it would move to September 28th to the Board of Commissioners.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to table.
So moved. Go ahead.
Okay, all in favor, signify by raising your right hand. It's unanimous. Item 2, shall I go ahead and read that into the record?
Yes, please.
Yes. Consider the approval of master development concept plan Minerva Spring Lake LP owner, parcel 244-02011 and 244-02011A, approximately 30.68 acres located in land lot 169 of the 3rd Land District. The applicant is requesting approval on their master development concept plan for their proposed traditional design subdivision. This property is currently zoned PDD, Plan Development District.
Yes, same for this application. We're requesting for this to be tabled as well for the same reasons as the
Okay,
first
I'll entertain a
application.
motion for the tabling of the master development concept plan.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Unanimous. Okay. This is looking better and better. Okay, I need a motion to lift the minutes from the table from our March 28th meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Okay, it's lifted. Are there any comments about the minutes?
I don't have any.
Okay.
I did have one comment that I had passed along to Eva.
Okay.
Dealt with the first note there, that we just had a little slash in there, didn't have who made the motion and seconded it. And I had that in my notes, so I provided that to her to make that correction. Otherwise, it looked good to me. I would
Okay.
say without amendment, we make a motion to approve.
Okay, I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Second. Those in favor signify by raising your right hand. It's unanimous. Item 2, consider the approval of the minutes for the meeting on June the 6th, 2023, special call meeting. Did you review those?
I did. I had one correction on that. I just passed it along, so I have the in front of it, but it's like about the 3rd or 4th item down. And it had that I made the motion, seconded by Mrs. Upchurch, and it was actually Mr. Allen that made the motion, seconded by Ms. Upchurch. So that was really the only thing I saw in there. Everything else seemed to be in good order.
Okay.
So I make a motion to approve of that correction.
I'll second it, subject to that correction.
Okay. Those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Again. Next item on the agenda is the report of the director.
I have no items
No item.
for tonight.
Wonderful.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, one item from the county, and that would be that Highway 16 at the State Patrol location at the Norfolk Southern Railroad crossing, that work has been postponed. It will not start tomorrow. It indicates that they will start Thursday on that particular location, with the understanding that it would be completed before the first day of school.
Hallelujah.
Prayerfully, that is our hope, is that it would be finished before the first day of school. So, just if you don't mind, just make sure that we share that back out to our community as widely as we can, that that location is going to be closed for a few days.
All right.
To paraphrase my dad, that's a hell of a way to run a railroad.
Okay, next item on the agenda is our other business from our commissioners, report of the commissioners. You got anything, Frank?
No, not specific, but Ms. Morales, what's going on with the rezoning petition on the coffee shop in Orchard Hill?
It had its first hearing on the second Monday of this month, and the final meeting will be August 14th for the final decision.
Okay, all right.
I had a question about that too. Is it for the coffee shop or is it for the renovated house that has the gutter business?
It's for the renovated house.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. All right, Bruce, you have anything?
No, sir.
One thing I had mentioned to Charles that I think we should consider, and I would really like to have Newton's opinion about this, is lately I've read through the Arthur K. Bolton Overlay several times out of necessity, and particularly on some of the design criteria. I wondered if we needed to revisit that as a commission and maybe tweak some of those things a little bit.
John, you probably do. The criteria, when they were adopted, were the most stringent we had in the county. They probably are not now. And we are now seeing development that is developing after a period of, let's see, we adopted that in 98, 99. So after 23 years, you're finally seeing development. So it's probably a time to look at it and to assess whether or not you should make adjustments to that.
Yeah, there are a couple of things in particular that some of the materials for finishing non-frontage road sides of the building, I think would warrant looking at, and also the location of the buildings so that they're turned to face Arthur K. Bolton perhaps. Just little things like that that I picked up on reading through it.
I would urge y'all to make a list of the things y'all have identified and give it to Charles and we can review it.
Okay.
But yeah, the aesthetics, keep in mind, the aesthetics in AKB were the most stringent we had when they were adopted. And they were adopted prior to the time it was a 4-lane road.
Yeah.
And it has taken this amount of time to see development on that road, but now we're seeing it. So yes, I think it's appropriate for y'all to look at it.
Okay. Very good.
Mr. Chairman, if I might come back, and I'd like to, I didn't have this on my written thing, but I'd like to ask the group, and Dr. Ledbetter, this perhaps should be addressed to you. Years ago, we had crossover members on the BZA and the Planning Commission. And this was done to keep people from making end runs when they would come before us for a rezoning and got turned down, and then the first thing you knew, they'd gone in for a variance. And nobody on the BZA happened to be succinctly knowledgeable about the fact that this applicant had already been here. I haven't talked with Mr. Yeomans much about this. We briefly mentioned it, but I think it is something worth looking at only because when the BZA doesn't talk to the planning commission, and most of the time they don't have any reason to do so. As my mom used to say, there's many a slip between the cup and the lip.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Frank, if I could briefly address that. With the changes required from House Bill 1405 on our procedures, like you encountered on item B1 on the agenda, the Board of Zoning Appeals jurisdiction, the way we have amended our ordinance, is going to be very limited. So if you have, if there is a rezoning, and if it requires special exception or variance, it comes to you only, and it comes to you in one package, just like Mr. Reese said. So in contrast to how we used to do special exceptions and so forth, the opportunity for there to be information from an action of BZA of which you're not aware, at least at the initial zoning and development stage, is going to be pretty limited. Now, they will continue to hear appeals, though this will never occur because Charles and Eva never make an error.
Okay.
They will continue to hear appeals where people assert, however lacking authority they may have a case, that an error was made. They will continue those, and they will continue to hear standard variances such as setbacks for porches in Sun City, as an example. Okay?
Thank you very much.
But if you, that's not to deter y'all from talking about it, I'm just pointing out that the world changed on June 22nd when the Board of Commissioners adopted all those amendments. Yes, it did.
Well, one of the things that we have also talked about, and I haven't been very diligent in doing so, is that I think it would be prudent for one or more members of the planning commission to attend the county commission meetings when they are hearing something that we have sent to them that might happen to have a little bit more to it than the commissioners themselves pick up on.
We would welcome the opportunity for the planning commission to attend the zoning public hearing meetings.
Good. I'm saying that because years ago, on the planning commission, I was the swing vote for a rezoning that probably should not have happened. I didn't go out before the meeting was held, and I went out the morning after, and it looked like a bad deal. And I went to the commission and asked them to deny the application, which they did. And I felt good about it. And I had some people who were involved who didn't feel good about my having done that, and I was introduced to some of their relatives as one of the county bloops. But
I think I remember this. This was the community septic system, right?
no, this was a lot size.
Yeah, but it was all gonna be served by a community.
Yeah, yeah, some of Greg's stuff, you know. But I felt good about having done it. I felt
Which
like
I've never
that's
seen before, so.
that's why we're here.
That was Pruitt, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
So-
Who inadvertently wound up being on the BZA later, which was, I thought, ironic to say the least.
That was after he had run a heat duct to the attic of one of his houses to meet the necessary minimum square footage in the zoning district, as I
Good
recall.
enforcement. Yes, I remember that.
And that's a great country.
Well, if there's no other discussion, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So move, sir.
I'll second that motion.
We're adjourned.
6:15. Wow, what a record.
This is a fun job, you know it.